Apple showed us the iPhone 17 Pro, but they didn't tell us everything. Behind all of the fancy marketing, there are hidden features and quiet upgrades that completely change how this phone works. Today, we're uncovering 7 secrets Apple didn't mention, and trust me, number 5 will make you rethink the iPhone 17 Pro entirely. Let's get into it. The combination of vapor chamber cooling and aluminum frame creates a thermal management system Apple never advertised. This hidden upgrade distributes heat more evenly across the body, sustaining peak performance during intensive tasks. If you use your phone for gaming, video editing, or other demanding applications, this unmentioned feature could be the difference between smooth performance and frustrating throttling. So you've probably felt your phone get uncomfortably hot during a gaming session or while editing a video. That heat usually means your device is about to slow down to protect itself. Apple quietly addressed this with a physical hardware change they don't mention in their marketing. It's not a software optimization or trick in the operating system. The iPhone 17 Pro uses a vapor chamber cooling system inside. This sealed chamber contains a small amount of deionized water dedicated to managing heat. When the A19 Pro chip gets hot, that liquid evaporates, carrying thermal energy away from the processor. It then condenses back into liquid form, ready to repeat the cycle. Think of it like a much more efficient heat spreader. This process moves heat away from the core components rapidly. That vapor chamber works alongside the aluminum frame, which is a better conductor of heat than the stainless steel used in some past models. The combination lets heat disperse across the entire body of the phone, instead of concentrating in one spot near the chip. This is why you can maintain peak performance for longer stretches without the system throttling your speed to cool down. You get more consistent frame rates during long gaming sessions and no screen dimming from overheating. It's a substantial 40% improvement in sustained performance over previous models, all from a cooling upgrade Apple simply didn't talk about. So the hidden cooling system is that vapor chamber working together with the aluminum frame. It's a hardware solution that makes a real difference if you push your phone. Next up, let's look at how Apple protects your data without you even knowing. Apple consistently emphasizes privacy, but they also added a much stronger security layer that they didn't showcase publicly. While they talk broadly about keeping your data safe, this feature specifically defends against memory-based attacks. Modern spyware has become quite sophisticated. Some forms can directly access your phone's memory to steal sensitive information like passwords or personal data. Most users never realize this specific vulnerability exists. They just assume standard protections cover everything, but they don't. The iPhone 17 Pro includes a hidden system called Memory Integrity Enforcement. This works by assigning a unique tag to each section of memory. When an application or process tries to read or modify memory, it must present the correct tag. Any unauthorized access is blocked instantly. Pretty cool, isn't it? This all happens completely in the background with no settings to adjust or notifications to acknowledge. There's also no performance impact you would notice day to day, just continuous protection running beneath the surface. This specifically guards against memory attacks, which can be extremely hard to detect with traditional security measures. By securing memory at this level, Apple adds a barrier that many competing devices still lack. So how does memory integrity enforcement protect your data automatically? It constantly verifies every memory access attempt against its internal tag system, blocking anything that doesn't match exactly. You get top-grade security with zero required setup or maintenance. That said, let's move to a hidden limitation you should know about. The switch to USB-C on the iPhone 17 Pro seemed like a win for faster connectivity, but here's the reality they didn't share. The phone itself supports USB 3 speeds, delivering up to 10 gigabits per second for data transfers. That's a proper hardware upgrade, especially if you regularly move large files. But the cable included in the box tells a different story. It's still limited to USB 2 speeds, which max out at 480 megabits per second. So even though your phone is technically capable of super fast transfers, you won't experience it with this cable. That makes a significant difference. A 100 gigabyte file transferred via the standard cable could take over 3 hours. With a proper USB 3 cable, that same transfer completes in under 2 minutes. That's not just a slight improvement, it completely changes how you work. This limitation hits hardest for photographers and videographers. If you're working with 4K footage or large raw photo sets, the included cable acts as a serious bottleneck. You'll need to purchase a separate, more expensive USB 3 cable to actually unlock the speeds your phone supports. So why does Apple do this? It's a familiar strategy. They include the hardware capability, but keep the base cost lower by leaving out the premium accessory. If you want the full experience, you pay extra. It's not broken, just a choice they made to balance cost and performance. Now, let's look at a feature that actually improves your daily experience. 2 features that affect your daily experience with the phone hide in plain sight, but Apple never highlights them directly. The first addresses a common complaint with screens. Many users experience eye strain or headaches after long periods of use, especially in low light, due to how these displays control brightness. The screen flickers to adjust brightness levels. It's a process they call pulse width modulation. While most people don't consciously notice it, it can cause discomfort. Apple quietly included a solution for this. It's called PWM flicker reduction, and you'll find it buried in the accessibility settings. It's not in display and brightness where it probably should be. Flicking that toggle reduces the rapid on-off cycling of pixels, making long reading or video sessions noticeably more comfortable. If your eyes ever feel tired after long sessions, this one setting adjustment might help a lot. On a completely different note, the charging of this iPhone holds another useful secret. It uses what's called a burst charge method to power up quickly. When you plug in with the right adapter and the battery is cool, it initially draws up to 60 watts. That's enough for the phone to reach around 50% in just 20 minutes. That initial speed doesn't last though. To protect long-term battery health, the phone soon tapers down to a slower, safer charging rate. How fast does it charge? Up to 50% in about 20 minutes under the right conditions. Next, let's examine the camera upgrades. So, every year Apple says, our best camera system ever. But this time, with the iPhone 17, the biggest camera upgrades are the ones Apple barely mentioned. First up, the new image sensor design. Apple didn't brag about it, but the main 48 megapixel sensor on the iPhone 17 has a slightly larger surface area. That means each pixel captures more light. So even though the number looks the same on paper, your low light photos are noticeably cleaner, especially indoors. Less noise, more natural tones, and way better shadows. Then there's something Apple completely skipped over: adaptive lens grouping. It's a fancy way of saying the phone subtly shifts the inner lens elements depending on what you're shooting. Portraits look sharper around the eyes, and landscapes have better edge-to-edge clarity. On top of that, the telephoto lens finally matches the main sensor's 48 megapixel resolution. So when you zoom in, it's not just cropping pixels anymore, it's true optical detail. And the zoom transition, smooth, like sliding a real camera lens. Another quiet change, Apple improved Smart HDR7. It now blends multiple exposures faster and more accurately, especially for skin tones. Faces look warmer, highlights don't blow out, and skies actually stay blue even when the sun's in the frame. And finally, for video creators, there's an unspoken win: the new lens coating. It cuts down on lens flare and ghosting, those little reflections that show up when you shoot toward bright lights. So while Apple kept the flashy talk focused on AI and design, the real story is this. The iPhone 17's camera quietly took a huge leap forward, not because of megapixels, but because Apple's refining the art of how a phone sees the world. And honestly, that's something worth noticing, even if Apple didn't shout about it. These 7 hidden features reflect Apple's broader strategy, building premium hardware while carefully managing which user experiences get promoted. They focus on what looks good in marketing, while quietly including practical upgrades and limitations that shape how you use the device. Consider whether these unadvertised capabilities and the extra costs or settings they require justify the iPhone 17 Pro's premium price for your specific needs. If you found this helpful for making smarter buying choices, subscribe for more straightforward tech insights. We break down what companies don't tell you, so you know exactly what you're getting.